Hello and welcome to another Circle Line Art School video, how to draw a wolf. For this drawing I use a 4B and a 6B pencil and some erasers. The first step is to draw a circle. It doesn't need to be a perfect circle, just a circle. The second step is to draw a cross. The vertical line needs to continue lower than the circle. The third step is to draw the eyes, nose, mouth and snout. For the eyes, they just need to go on the horizontal line, either side of your central vertical line. Just draw two basic circles. And then the mouth and the snout need to go on the circumference of the bottom of the circle, where I'm placing it now. Next, we need to add just a big oval that goes from the baseline where the mouth is, up to almost where the eyes are. The fourth step is to draw two ears, wide apart and quite wide at their base, with a point at the top. The fifth step is to erase some of the guidelines and soften some of the other lines that you've drawn. Step number 6 is to draw the eyes, which are just circles in sort of almond shapes, and the almond shapes need to be at an angle. For this drawing I add a circular highlight to the pupil. The pupil is dark, and then the whites of the eyes, if it was a person, are black in a wolf. Once you've drawn both eyes of the wolf, the seventh step is to add a nose, and to do this you need to add two circular nostrils to the nose. Try to make sure that the nose is symmetrical and that it's in the right position in relation to the eyes that you've drawn. It's always good if you see something or notice something that you need to change, just change it. For step 8, I suggest that you redraw the edges and make it more fur-like, because after all we've just got a circle at the moment. You could start with the mouth and the area around the mouth, and then just look at the direction of the pencil marks that you make and try to make a variety of different marks all going in the right direction. Basically most of the lines will be going away from the eyes, and make sure that you have a different pressure that you place on the pencil. So sometimes you press down a little bit hard and sometimes more gently, and that will give a nice variety to the textures that you can create. So we're just trying to make the whole drawing look more wolf-like, because we've got the basic structure in place, and the structure's fine. Be careful not to make it look like a human again, because obviously we look at human faces an awful lot more than wolf faces. It's quite tempting to just straighten the eyes and move the mouth up so it's more like a human, if that makes sense. And now we've got a basic sketch of a wolf. It's just a very basic sketch, but like I say, the structure is in there, so I think it's now time to add some tone. So for step 9 we just need to add some tone, some light and dark to this image that we have. So I'd start with the eyes and make the iris of the eye a sort of mid-tone, somewhere between light and dark, keeping the highlight of the eye, little circle, white, and then the pupil of the eye, black, and then the whites of the eye, as it were, put those black for this drawing. And then once you've got one eye and it's looking out and it looks like it's looking straight at us, and maybe it's quite stern, then try and draw the other eye so that they're a matching pair, so it looks like the animal's actually staring directly at us. After you've done this, we need to find some other areas to add for tone. So you can do tone in a variety of ways for a drawing like this. I would suggest using some linear tone, so you're just using the pressure of the pencil to create different tones. And again, I'm using a 4B pencil and a 6B pencil for this drawing because they allow for a wider tonal range. So you can have a soft sort of silvery greys, and then you can also get a very jet black, a very deep dark black with these, particularly the 6B pencil, but also the 4B pencil. So some of the tone will be linear lines, but other parts of the tone you could use the side of the pencil and just do some mid-tones, because it's not going to be just a line drawing. We need to actually make it seem like the skull of the wolf is underneath the texture that we are trying to depict. Now, step 10 is really very similar. Just keep going with the tonal drawing that you have, and I would suggest that you push your drawing as far as you can go, and maybe even a little bit further. Just see how far you can get by creating a massive range of different tonal textures. I found it very useful in this drawing to use an eraser to actually draw with the eraser and if you do that, you just need to make sure that as you erase an area, you do it in the right direction for the marks that you want to create. So you're actually creating almost like negative marks with the eraser. Please click on one of the links on this page so that you can see my YouTube playlist of how to draw animals, where we have a variety of different animals that you might like to draw. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this drawing useful. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Circle Line Art School, for many more art videos. I post a drawing each week, so if you want to draw each week, just subscribe and you can join in and do the drawings. Thank you very much for watching again, and see you next time. Bye-bye.